Hello everyone, X-Wall-Kill Bethalot here on this very bright day. You may not be able to see me very well here. Jehovah's Witnesses, the desire to want to go back to the Kingdom Hall is very similar to the desire a person might have to go back to kindergarten. Think about it. Think about it. The desire to want to be in an environment, a very simple environment. People don't get involved with too much of anything. And everybody just talks about the Watchtower. And pretty much all walk around. Like if you go to a Kingdom Hall after being out of this cult, for, I don't know, let's say 5 years, you're out of the cult, completely out of the cult. Then you go back to the Kingdom Hall for, say, a funeral or something to that effect. That's happened to me. It's like you're in a building full of kids walking around talking about, oh, this old system. They're blaming everything in life on, oh, this old tired system. Oh, hope will make it better in paradise. Oh, it'd be better in paradise. Oh, it's so bad. It's just childlike thinking. If you think about it, all these Jehovah's Witnesses all go around knocking on people's doors, feeling all smart and feeling all bright. If we go back to kindergarten, we all feel like freaking scholars. All of us, every one of us is a freaking genius if we go back to kindergarten, because all the material is so freaking simple. It's all freaking simple. All that stuff that you did in kindergarten is easy, simple. Life was simple. You didn't know too much about anything because you just weren't involved with anything because you were a kid. Going to the Kingdom Hall is very much like going to kindergarten or first grade. In kindergarten, everybody's probably talking about what? Sesame Street. Everything is so simple. Life is so simple. You're not really challenged per se. The things that you're learning in kindergarten are new to you, but at the same time don't take a whole lot of brain power to color, draw a picture in art class. You know, heck, there might be some things in kindergarten, first grade that take more brain power than you would need as a Jehovah's Witness. As a Jehovah's Witness, all you need to do is be able to read like on a maybe 6th grade level. And some of them, that's where they are, is on a 6th grade level of reading. But you go into the similarities though. You go into kindergarten or first grade, everything's simple. you're around a bunch of childlike people because there are kids, and everybody's talking about, you know, can you show me how to get to Sesame Street? How to get to Sesame Street? I can't think of the rest of the song. Somebody let me know what the rest of the song is. I grew up on Sesame Street, but I can't think of the... So I know the music, but I can't think of the rest of the song. But you're in there, everybody's talking about simple stuff. Sesame Street, their cartoon, play outside. You go to the Kingdom Hall, everybody's talking about Watchtower. Watchtowers are about as simple as could be. They are extremely simple. All you do is read it, and the question, the answer is right there in the paragraph. You just read back to them what's in the paragraph. Very simple. Nothing that really is that intellectually challenging. And everybody's sitting around talking about Watchtower, paradise, everything be better at paradise. Wait on Jehovah, it'll be better later. And dumb stuff. They're talking about that and dumb stuff. How many of us have gone into a Kingdom Hall for whatever reason and just realized how stupid they sit around talking about the new system and how they want to live on a sequoia tree. You got grown adults sitting around there talking about how they want to live on a sequoia tree. They want to build a house on a sequoia tree. If that ain't childlike and the same thing that you would have in kindergarten, that type of conversation that you would have in kindergarten, I don't know what else is. If you're in the Kingdom Hall, this has happened to me, and the Jehovah's Witnesses sitting up there talking about new system, they're going to have carpet that's like a water bed. They want the carpet is going to be, you know, like a water bed. Everything below it is water. They're going to be washing around in their house, walking on carpet that's got water beneath it. Their couch, their furniture, everything just swashing around. I kid you, this is an adult conversation in a Kingdom Hall. If you don't believe me, go into a Kingdom Hall, engage in conversation with someone about how you're going to live on top of a sequoia tree. You're going to build a house, or you're going to build a house that's got water carpet. You want water carpet in your house. Say something stupid like that and tell me if the Jehovah's Witness don't treat like that. It's a regular conversation. Heck, they might just add, you know, they'll just add to it about how you should have generators to make the water warm. And they want water fountains to shoot out Kool-Aid. Like, they just talk about stupid stuff. I've been in the car groups. Most of the time, they're either talking about something that's stupid or just random stuff. Like, it's the same as that desire to want to go back to something simple. You leave the cult, and all of a sudden the world becomes more challenging. Just like you leave kindergarten, and gradually, as you go up in grades to high school, you know, things become a little bit more challenging. Well, the person in high school doesn't have the option of saying, hey, this is kind of tough. I'm going to go back to kindergarten. You know, can you show me how to get to Sesame Street? They don't have the option to just say, hey, I want to go back to kindergarten. But you got a lot of people that come out of this cult that want to go back to it. And I think to a certain extent, you got fear, because they're thinking angels with wings and bow and arrow are about to start coming out of the clouds any day now, and you know, fucking people up who's not been reading their Watchtower. Like, just dumb stuff that kids would think. Dumb stuff that kids would think. At this point, Watchtower is about to seemingly go under by itself. There's no need for a great tribulation, people. Watchtower is selling off properties left and right, combining halls. 10 years from now, there ain't going to be nothing left. There ain't no need for no great tribulation. There's no need for governments to all turn on Watchtower. There ain't going to be no more Watchtower. Or like some people have said, it'll just turn into some kind of TV evangelist thing, where everybody just goes to the website, jw.org, they just tune in there, and they just send in their money. That way, Watchtower don't have to worry about the funding needed for anything. They just put on their little broadcast and tell everybody to send in money, because Jehovah needs your money, and Jehovah needs the kids' ice cream money. I mean, it's just the stupidest thing in the world. But you have grown adults, believe it or not, that they exist in an environment that's similar to kindergarten. And they like it. They like the simpleness of it. I don't think, how else are you going to have a teaching about Jerusalem falling in 607 BCE? And then you read other books that are written by people who, you know, have actually gone to school and have applied themselves. You know, a person can be intelligent but not apply that knowledge. People that have a certain level of intelligence and they sharpened those skills and they figured out around about when Jerusalem fell and things like that. How else are you going to have a teaching around about Jerusalem falling in 607 BCE? Somebody comment down below and let me know how long that teaching was around and nobody catch it. Jehovah's Witnesses had to come up with an excuse for their stupid teachings. And the excuse is the light gets brighter. Meaning we come up with the dumbest shit and we got to change it once we finally catch up with the rest of the world and finding out that it's wrong. That's all. That's the light gets brighter on our dumbass teachings is what it is. The light gets brighter is just their excuse for their kindergarten ass teachings. Their freaking first grade thinking teachings that they have. It's going back to an environment where everybody tells you what to do. You don't have to apply this. You don't have to apply this. Some Jehovah's Witnesses are just not the brightest people in the world. I mean, I've been door to door with people who couldn't hardly get through their presentation. These presentations, you have kids that do it. I've been with next to adults that, you know, could hardly get through a presentation at a door. These aren't all the sharpest pencils in the box. But then here's another thing. You might have somebody with a level of intelligence, but they don't apply it. It's like a pencil that ain't sharpened. They go into this environment called a Kingdom Hall where everybody just, they monkey what Watchtower tells them to do. They don't have to think. They don't have to put any thought into it. All you got to do is raise your hand and read back to them a portion of that paragraph, maybe change it a little bit and put it in your words. All you got to do is go up there to give a part during the meeting, and you ain't really gone out and done a whole bunch of research and found all these books in the library and did all this yourself. No, you're just basically repeating what you already got in the Watchtower. Just repeat the same thing over and over again. That's all you do. And then it looks like you're intelligent because you're talking about all these research tools. All it is other Watchtowers and other magazines. Or Watchtower said it did research on such and such, and you're repeating it like you've done it. It's the simplest thing. As a matter of fact, when I came out, I had to start getting rid of childlike mentality. When I first came out of Watchtower, and these people that do the sales over the phone, I'd fall for anything. I'd fall for anything because that's the mentality of a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses. They're the easiest people to prey on because they don't think at all. They just accept. It's no different than, you know, putting a salesperson in a room with a little kid. They're going to sell that kid their own socks. Like, they're going to sell them everything. They're going to easily take advantage. That's how a lot of these Jehovah's Witnesses are. Now, granted, you got people that don't believe it. They just attend because their family's gone. So they might be a little bit different because they don't even believe it. Or you have people that their family's not that steeped in Watchtower and they haven't been in there long enough to really be brainwashed and just completely stop thinking and function like The Walking Dead. Well, you've got some small exceptions to the rule, but by and large, you go into a Kingdom Hall and you're just around a bunch of childlike adults. And here's the thing, a lot of Jehovah's Witness teaching is all about saying don't do this and don't do that. And I think that's why a lot of people leave Watchtower and they get caught up on this, you know, verbalizing that what they see, this is bad and this is good. They'll see something on the news that happened and they'll make the statement That's bad. Now, everybody knows it's bad, but they're used to surface thinking. To a Jehovah's Witness, that's an accomplishment. Figuring out that's good, that bad. I don't like that. That's an accomplishment for a Jehovah's Witness. I kid you not. I've had discussion with older guys when I was young and coming up, and they're supposedly giving me advice. And a lot of this advice just falls into the category of just don't have sex. You know what I mean? Just don't have sex. End of the world's coming. Jehovah fix everything. But just don't have sex. And they don't even really have any well thought out advice other than just don't be alone with any girl. I mean, come on now. Their advice, the real Jehovah's Witness thinking is just if there's a girl, you know, you want to be careful calling her very often, and you don't want to sit with her next to her at the Kingdom Hall unless you're about engaged, and you don't want to be alone with her because if you start to touch her, you might kiss her, and then if you kiss her, you might do more. That's the height of Jehovah Witness knowledge. That's the height of Jehovah Witness wisdom. It's just don't do stuff because it's bad. And you see it. You see it. It's still in some of us as ex-Jehovah Witnesses. We just point at each other. Sometimes that's part of a lot of the arguments. Because we're pointing at each other. That bad. Don't do that on social media. You know what I mean? Somebody does this or that and puts the picture on social media. That bad. Well, back when we were a Jehovah's Witness, that was an accomplishment. It's an accomplishment to point somebody out, say that bad, and then shun them. That's a legit part of Jehovah's Witness life. It was all that type of simple thinking. 1 and 1 is 2 is an accomplishment in kindergarten. I'm telling you, it's the same. Pointing at something and saying that bad is an accomplishment for a Jehovah's Witness. And you don't got to go any further than that. You don't have to do any deep thinking. You don't have to break down, you know, well, what's this person's psychological state when it happened? You know what I mean? If the person's psychological state was one in which they couldn't tell the difference between, you know, right and wrong, or they weren't in their right mind, or there's all kinds of different things. Jehovah Witness, no, it that bad. Go in the back room, talk to old men, come out, we know, talk to you. It's like kindergarten, or it's like a bunch of Stone Age apes, being around a bunch of Stone Age apes. You know what I mean? We ape, we build fire, we roast marshmallow. That's what it's like being in the Kingdom Hall. It's just a bunch of people who have created an environment where there's no need for any kind of intellect or intelligence. The Jehovah Witness thing about this is a meeting. It's not a meeting. All you're doing is reading a book Watchtower gave you to read, and repeating back to the person that's asking questions what you see in the book. I mean, even other cults, they use their minds more than Jehovah's Witnesses do. Even other cults, you don't see a whole lot of the light got brighter and we had to change half our teachings because it was all wrong. Because they just don't have people dumb enough to mess up that much. Comment down below, let me know what you think. I mean, if you've ever had that desire to just go back to kindergarten when it was all so much simpler, I think that's part of the draw for people that want to go back to the Kingdom Hall after being out of the cult. It's just, oh man, everything is just so fast for them. They want to go back. Why else would they be overwhelmed? 1 and 1 makes 2. A person is overwhelmed because they were underwhelmed at the Kingdom Hall. And they want to go back to being underwhelmed. Why is this hard when you're at a 4-way stop? It's your turn. You go. Now I go. There's road rage for you. 937-789-4029. On one of these days when I'm off work, I'm going to get caught up on a lot of these messages and just start calling everybody back. So if you get a call and you called me 3 weeks ago and I'm just now getting back to you, that's the reason why I get busy with work, other things going on, and I end up being busy until it's time to wake up for work the next day again. So 937-789-4029. I'll get back with people and let me know what you think. I can just see a whole bunch of Jehovah's Witnesses in the car. Dun, 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 dun. Blah, blah, blah. To where the air is sweet. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? How to get to Sesame Street? How to get to Sesame Street? It's going to kindergarten. It's just the joy and happiness of just everything being simple, no one having to think. Primarily, Jehovah's Witnesses going door to door, telling people stuff they already know. If you're a Christian, you already know about the second coming. You already know after the second coming, things are supposed to be better. I mean, you already know that. It's to a Jehovah's Witness, though, oh man, they're brilliant to have come up with this. No one else knows this stuff. Or they found there in the Bible where there's the word Jehovah. Oh, we found it all. It's a discovery. I mean, it's unreal how childlike these people are. And that's how you got all these pedophiles and predators that get away with molesting kids for so long. It all makes sense because they're around a bunch of adults that are simple thinkers. They're simpletons. They're childlike themselves. A predator, a child molester goes to a Kingdom Hall and man, they're in heaven. Look at all these dumbasses I'm around. I'll just touch all these kids. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. Or a person that is, you know, wanting to rob somebody, anything like that. They are in heaven in the Kingdom Hall. Somebody coming right out of prison and they're planning something. You go to a Kingdom Hall, they're in freaking heaven. Because you got these childlike minded people. And yeah, let me know what you think. X Wallkill Bethelite signing out.